Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
What the hell? Where is Jeff? Where is Tony? Ugh, fuck it. I'll host the show myself. Welcome to Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. This week on episode 78, we take a trip down memory lane. As the summer comes to a close, let's look back at some of the best friendship moments we had together. Moments from guests like Joe Coy, Frank Caliendo, Tito Ortiz and more. Let's celebrate a summer of friendship. Now if you would like to watch the podcast, go to patreon.com/JeffDye. And for only $10 a month, you get every episode on video the day it comes out. As well as free comedy tickets to all of Jeff's shows. So support the team, you creeps. Or to catch up and watch the full episodes that these clips come from, go to youtube.com/JeffDye's Friendship Podcast and don't forget to like and subscribe or I will find you. Now enjoy the fucking show. From episode 64, Erica Rhodes.
I also, me and Dave Williams were just talking about that, and I'm so guilty of this. I'm not criticizing anyone but myself mostly. I hold everybody up to a professional comedian standard. So like my Uber driver will say something like, "Oh, I love being an uncle because you can play with the kids and then give them back." And I'm just sitting there going like, "You fucking hack! I hope this Uber crashes, you stupid idiot." And I remember, oh yeah, he's not a comedian, Jeff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
God, I've been thinking this exact same thing because I did yoga yesterday, and my yoga teacher launches into a bit in the middle of yoga class.
She thinks she's hilarious.
I went to Trader Joe's the other day, and I was just shopping, walking around.
Doing basic stuff.
I'm like, this sounds like a bit.
Just being a basic bitch.
Yeah, just walking around Trader Joe's, and then all of a sudden, we're in the middle of a pose, right? And she is going into a bit.
Trying
and
material.
she's like, and then I heard really creepy music, and I was like, oh my God, why is this changing my mood? And then I was telling my friend, oh my God, isn't it weird that in grocery stores, you don't usually hear creepy music? And my point is that even music can change our vibe.
Oh my God.
And then there's one guy in the audience. There's one guy in the class. There's one guy in the class who clearly has a crush on her. And he's like, ha.
Oh,
and
no.
he's the only one laughing. And I'm just glaring. And I'm like, how dare she think that?
Your bad bit is changing my vibe. Your hacky observations about grocery stores. How good would it be enough? And you just packed up your shit and left the yoga studio?
Yeah. I was just glaring.
I came for yoga, not a bad open mic.
Yeah.
I've seen better comedy in a tent. Oh, I would hate that so much.
Or what about normal people who are like, this is a funny story.
Oh, random.
And then they tell a story and you're
random.
And you're not funny.
I hate it.
Oh God, it's hard. It's harder to relate to normal people now.
That's why I hang with comedians mostly.
Yeah, me too. I can't.
You're not funny for coming up with a movie quote that we all know at the right circumstance.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's from a movie. We all know it. You didn't write it. You're let's make up our own inside jokes and let's make up our own funny things that happen. Yeah. I think about that all the time. Someday I'm going to be old and my wife's going to be like, "Hey, how come whenever you go to the bathroom, you never put the toilet seat down?" And I'm like, "Hack, I've heard it, babe." Out of here, you unoriginal bitch. I think that all the time, because that's what I value most is comedy.
I know it's hard. It's hard to be around normal
To
people.
not judge that.
Or you're like, get to the point. Like if they tell a story and you're like, but where's the ending? And then they get to the end and you're like, that's not an ending. Like that's not a story. You didn't craft that.
From episode 65, Rafi Boss toast.
This can happen as well. You know, sometimes I don't understand
what's
right or
that there
wrong.
was like a lawsuit about jokes. That's
my
insane to me.
I lost a lot of money because of lawsuit. The big lawsuit that I had was because okay, I'll tell. I'm not proud of the joke.
Of course not.
No, it's not my
Let's preface it. He's not proud of the joke.
It's not my Mona Lisa. You know? I even say this on stage. I feel like I'm Eddie Murphy and this joke is my Dr. Dolittle. That's what I feel.
It's your Norbit.
It's like, I don't want to be known by that, but I was live on TV and this was the one of the jokes that brought me more problems. It's stupid, but I was live on TV, so we showed this singer, a Brazilian singer. She's hot and she was pregnant. And when the video ended, camera cuts to me, and what I should have said was nothing. But I was like, "Oh, she's so hot that I would fuck her and her baby." That's what I said. Which is stupid. It's stupid. But it became this huge thing, and people wanted me to apologize, and I never did. And I never did because, you know...
But good for you.
Because the thing is, if I apologize for this stupid joke...
Right.
I'll be apologizing about everything in 2 months.
To speak is to risk offending.
And, and I felt that it was important for comedy in my country.
Sure.
To say, you know what? We are not going to be apologizing about everything we say. It is important for us to try to push the line a little bit. It's important. So I thought it was, I lost a lot. I lost sponsors. I lost movies. I lost series and jobs and fucking corporate gigs. I lost a lot of money because of that joke.
Dude, that joke, like, do you have the clip of that?
I do.
Have you ever sent it to like Legion of Skanks or any of those guys? They would love that joke.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And like I said, you know, you're not proud of it, and it's not getting you in more trouble. But you're also called a pregnant woman hot, which in America you'd be like a hero. Like people lose like Twitter followers for like criticizing any pregnant woman's looks. You said she's hot.
That's what I said. It was a compliment.
You thought it was positive.
It was a compliment. Could I change a word or two on the comment? Maybe. I don't know. It's okay.
From episode 67, Jokoi.
So like it was like 85 when Eddie was coming. I took that credit card, called. I had the high pitched voice. I said it was my mom. I gave the credit card. That shit went through. Tickets came in. It was the best, man. My mom drove me. She was like, "I thought you were going to an Eddie Murphy movie." An Eddie Murphy movie. Why in Seattle? She was like, "Why didn't we go to the one at the Tacoma? Why didn't we go to the theater at the Tacoma Mall?" It was me and my best friend in the back seat, William, and we're just driving. We're just
You got
waiting.
her a ticket too, right?
No,
just you two. She had to drive you up to Seattle.
She drove us to Seattle, and she had to wait for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's so great. Wait, and so when did she find out that it was an Eddie Murphy performance?
While we were driving up.
Oh, yeah, you're like, no, it's we
I go,
wouldn't.
no, it's he's performing. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Are you serious right now?
But you already got
What
the
do I
tickets.
do, huh? Just drive around? Wait for you? What the fuck, Joseph? Literally,
This is so great.
waited for us for 2 hours. It was the fucking greatest concert of my life. 85. You ever watch Raw? You ever watch it?
It's fantastic.
Remember the red screen where he's standing behind the screen? There was 3 of those on stage, and it was a collage of all his shit. It was just a montage of everything he's done, which is like all the way up until like Beverly Hills Cop. You know what I mean? It wasn't that much.
Sure.
And it was just everything, buckwheat, everything. It was just, and it plays catchphrases and Gumby and all that shit, and then Beverly Hills Cop, and then it just starts speeding up really fast, and then just bam, it turned red, and he was standing behind the screen. Bro, I think I shot my load all over the guy in front of me. I was like, is this fucking magic or what?
I like that
at
his career was so on fire that it opened for him. Like his career just opened for him.
Hilarious.
There was no middle act.
So good, Jeff.
There's no host.
So good. He goes, yeah, I think I'm going to get me to do 10 minutes.
Just a montage.
Just a montage for 10 minutes.
There's some of these little 15-year-olds might not know how legendary I am.
Yeah.
Give them a highlight reel.
Let's do it.
From episode 68, Alex Edelman.
I went to go see a great comedian once, a great Boston comic. I'll say his name is Steve Sweeney. And really funny guy. And he's on stage at this place called the Kowloon in Saugus, Massachusetts. And he's killing. And he drops in a new joke. It's a good joke. And I'm sitting next to this guy and his wife. This guy's got his arm around his wife. And he looks at her with genuine anger. He goes, I don't know this joke.
He's like mad at it.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what world are we living in?
You
where
should
he's
like the new jokes.
well, he didn't want him. He wanted to hear the same Dunkin' Donuts material that he knew from Steve Sweeney 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so he was pissed off. He looks at us and goes, I don't know this joke. It was a joke about Barack Obama or something like that. And I swear to God, just the look on his face
That is so
of
funny.
surprise. He didn't want to be surprised. He was there to hear the greatest hits.
Yeah.
He was there to hear the accent of the woman at Dunkin' Donuts. I'm just guessing who's like, I'd like to order a large coffee. And like,
that's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted. That's what he's trying to show his date something. He's trying to do a thing. And Steve Sweeney's up there trying political material. And he's like, no,
I've been blindsided.
No, I work at the sand and gravel place, eating the sand and the gravel, and I don't want any new material. Here on my Saturday night, I've had the same lo mein every weekend for 35 years, and I want the same jokes I know.
Yeah.
And you're not going to
This piece of shit brought up Obama during my night out.
That's my night out.
From episode 69, Nice, Jeanie Buss.
One of my favorite scenes about basketball in the history of things was a little movie called Airbud.
Airbud.
Now, if you don't know much about Airbud, it's this dog. You love dogs, right?
Yeah.
It's about this dog who they find out is good at basketball. In fact, so good at basketball that he can shoot threes with his nose. He can like dunk, which is strange. It's on the cover. But in the first Homeward Bound, there's when they realize this dog can play and he's good. I mean, he's the star.
You mean Airbud?
Airbud. I keep saying, did I say Homeward Bound?
Yeah, stop saying that.
So an Airbud. This dog's playing, right? I'm enjoying it. I'm a kid. It's a great. It's so fun to watch a dog play basketball. But they cut to a scene where the dog is running down the court and there's just girls in the stands just watching. And I wonder if they did that on purpose because they let a dog play. But not girls. They're like, wow, I mean, the dog. Come on, ladies. I mean, look at him. He can shoot off his nose. Yeah. They're not letting, it's boys. And if this dog wants to play, he can play. If I was a woman, I would have a big problem with that movie. Airbud, step it up, man. It's not very progressive.
That's funny.
It's very offensive to me.
What a weird concept of a movie.
It's such a silly thing. I feel like a kid wrote it.
Yeah.
You know, hey, Mom, would it be funny if Oliver could shoot baskets? And she'd be like, oh, it's something. And then he made it a script.
Yeah.
It's probably how all these things happen. They steal an idea from
What if that dog could really shoot baskets?
Oh, nah, dude. No.
No, okay.
Zero chance.
All right.
Or Jeanie be signing him.
Yeah.
From episode 70, Nicholas Anthony.
Yeah, no, my girlfriend, to this day, I've been dating this girl for 2 years and I still have no idea when she
sneaks away.
She's elusive.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That makes me nervous.
There's a wage gap in this country and it should be not a case, but women stop with the I don't have poop thing. Like that, if a guy isn't fucking you because they think you have shit inside of you, I just think it's
right.
I have a weird take on that.
Well, that's like a hacky girl thing they like to do. I've heard girls say a lot of the same stuff, you know? Oh, I don't poop. Girls don't poop.
Yeah,
it's like, sure you do. I grew up with sisters and a mom. You all poop and fart.
Yeah.
Oh, I never do this. I'm not usually like this.
She doesn't
You
say
do.
that stuff. She doesn't like say it. It's just like I've just noticed. I'm like, what? I've never. This is a weird thing. We are very close.
Just trying to be respectful about it, I guess.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
here's a weird
that's
story.
really like ultimately, I have like a decent human, and I'm just complaining that she's not like a little more.
She should
rough
be
around
more
me.
foul.
This beautiful creature that I love.
Give me some excuse.
I don't have to try so hard.
One time, this is so long ago, but I was dating a girl, and then we took a couple out, like kind of on a double date that we didn't know that well, or maybe she did, but I didn't. And he was dating a girl from Japan, and he said like one time, like he was taking a poop, or no, not one time, a bunch of times when he takes a number 2, she will want to come in the bathroom, take off her pants, and sit on his lap with her skin to his skin, just to kind of experience what he's experiencing with him. And he's like, I don't enjoy it, but she does it all the time. She's just super into this. And, and then we're like, what did she? And he goes, well, her excuse is that she says, I want to experience everything with you. I want to know every little thing that you do.
Jesus.
Right, wow. So listen to this. So me and her are judging it. I'm doing jokes. I'm like, wow, what a weirdo. And then jump cut to like the next week. I'm going number 2, and she knocks on the door, and I was so uncomfortable. Yeah. She's like, let's do that thing. I was like, no, let's not do that thing. What are we talking about? I'm not letting you. And she did. It took forever because I was like, I can't poop like this. It was so weird.
I mean, it brings up the idea of, it's the Jerry Maguire idea of like someone completing you.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to you being like, hey, babe, I need to have something of
I need
my own.
Something should not be completed.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, you don't need, Oh, and I have roommates, and I thought no one was in the house. And so I went to take a shit thinking like, all right, I got this, I don't have this victimless crime here. I get to really stretch my legs and enjoy this.
Crime, yeah.
And it was back when LA was like a little bit cold. It was like, oh, frigid. Yeah. So I kind of scurry into the bathroom morning, wiping the sleep out of my eyes. And I sit down on the toilet, and I could feel the warmth from my roommate's like he had been there recently.
No, yeah.
And it was one of those moments where I was like, I was angry at myself how much it made me feel not alone. Like it was comforting to like have this. Like it was like
someone else was here.
I was like, oh, I'm not alone. You know? So now anytime I sit down on a toilet and it's cold, I'm always like in an existential like, oh, I'm just gonna die alone.
No. You need one of those toilets from Asia that has like the heater.
Exactly.
You need a Japanese woman to sit on your lap.
Those are amazing, by the way.
You know, she changed her opinion on that when I started sitting on her lap when she took a shit.
Exactly.
From episode 71, JC Kerr IS.
This tiny viral guy who's going famous on the internet, the little bagel shop
bagel boss guy.
Dude, you know this story?
No.
This
The guy who got into the heat. Somebody punched him, right?
He like choked
Well, he
him.
started a fight with 2 guys, and the one guy just took him up on
He's
it.
like, all right.
Yeah, well,
Which at some point you got to realize that's a thing.
Oh yeah. If you go barking up the wrong tree,
You're gonna get
The
punched
tree's
in
gonna
the
bark
face.
back.
So people that don't know about this guy, I mean, he's pretty famous right now. And by the time this airs, he'll be even more of a flash in the
Afterthought,
pan.
sure.
Yeah.
Or he'll have
But
100 million Instagram
a
followers.
video came out pretty recently of him interviewing, like that someone interviewed him. It's like a 10-minute interview on the local news.
Yeah.
There's so many funny parts in that.
Really?
Video. Yeah. If you don't know who we're talking about, he's this tiny man who like just loses his shit in a bagel store because the woman behind the counter started snickering at his like, because he's like 5 foot even.
Right. And he probably walks around like, listen to me. You better fucking listen.
Yeah.
You motherfucker. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, shut up, you little guy.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm sick and tired of it. These women, they take advantage of me. They take their money. They say they're fine with me, and then they don't want to go on another date with me. They make fun of my height. And in the video, he calls himself a modern-day prophet, the modern-day Martin Luther King, and he believes he's the hero. And the reason people are responding to the video is because they think he's a hero sticking up for anti-bullying.
No.
That's not why we're watching it,
It's
dude.
not. It's that if there's a little man getting punched in the face,
It's 'cause you get dunked
Because he
on.
deserved it.
He
Yeah,
gets
that's the
dunked
thing.
on.
He's this yappy little dog that like somebody silenced. That's what was good.
And it happens quickly.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. Like he's talking shit to these girls, and then another guy, he's like, "You want to step outside? Do you want to step outside?" And one guy just
takes him up
from
on
off
it.
camera. He's like, "I've had enough," and he says 2 words, and he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" And then he does it.
Right. Which is fantastic.
Which is great.
Oh, what are you going to do?
There's not this. There's not the peacocking. There's not this long peacocking. It's just like, all right, grab somebody's little neck.
I'm going to do bad things with my hands to you.
Because you've just asked for it.
Yeah.
You told me to do it.
And the guy was probably 5'8", but he looks like he's 6'9" compared to the bagel guy.
He looks like he's a fucking giant.
The best
Giant murders midget.
Goliath wins.
Exactly. Goliath wins. And then they interview him and he's fucking 5'7".
Yeah, he's like, what? This is an honor.
Yeah.
To be considered a giant.
I can't even reach the tall cabinets in my house.
My two favorite parts is that he's telling all these reasons about why he finally snapped. Yeah. And he goes, he's like ranting, like he was not even talking about the bagel shop thing. He just keeps talking about all the stuff that's happened to him. You know, he's like, the people do this and they bully me. I've been robbed right over there. I had this thing. Nobody cares. I built a website with a guy and then he bailed and then he never paid me back the $175 that he owes me. The $175. And he's going crazy. But one of the best parts is he's like, oh, and then recently the guy that owns the building, my landlord, he didn't tell me that it got foreclosed on, and then he told me I have like a week to leave. So now I live with my parents in a van by choice. You're like, what do you mean by choice?
By choice. I love that van. I've loved it since I was a kid.
You told us the circumstances in which it happened.
Yeah, you got evicted.
Yeah, that's not by choice.
No, the van part's by choice.
He
could live at his parents'
he could live
house.
inside.
Right, he could, but he chooses he wants to be in the van.
He's a strong, independent man.
The moneyest moment on the video. He talks about how he shows this little blood mark that he got from the man taking him down. And then he goes, and I hurt my leg, but that was because I was just burning off some anger at my parents' house in the woods, hitting trees with a miniature Yankees baseball bat. Dude, how funny is that?
And then there's a picture of him holding it.
Oh, there is?
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen
There's
the
a picture of him holding this mini bat.
But also, like, those little mini bats, they're so adorable and hilarious. He's using that outside to let out some rage.
To bang on things.
On the trees. And he's admitting to it it's so money.
Well, because obviously what that guy has is an inability to shut his own mouth.
Oh, yeah.
He just rattles. It just
crazy.
goes and goes and goes and goes.
He called himself John Lennon. He's like, I'm prolonging their message. I'm prolonging their message.
Great.
Yeah, what a prophet. It's the weirdest thing.
From episode 72, Tito Ortiz.
Here's a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You did Celebrity Apprentice.
Yep.
You were around some people there. I imagine because of your career and your life, you've met tons of famous people.
Yeah.
Maybe some famous people you have never met, could be living or dead. One celebrity you'd like to knock out.
One celebrity I would like to knock out.
Since it's a hypothetical and it's a whimsical,
I already did. I actually last November I did, and it was nice. It was the most best feeling in the world.
Who was that?
Chuck Liddell.
Oh, I see.
It was the best feeling in the world, just because there was so much lies to a guy that I helped out and tried to make us to be multi-millionaires, and he just turned our friendship into hate and sold out.
Really?
And it was funny because on the way here, I was actually watching an interview with Dana White, with his Dana White's Contenders, and they talk about Chris Cyborg and Amanda Nunes, and he says how Cyborg is so afraid to fight Amanda Nunes. It's kind of like Tito Ortiz. He was so afraid to fight Chuck Liddell. And I'm sitting here driving going, this fucking guy. Okay, I got paid $150,000 to fight Chuck the first time. They made over $35 million off that fight. I fought him a second time. I made around $2 million for the fight, maybe 2.5. They made about $72 million. I fought him this last time, and it wasn't even about the money mark because it showed me who Chuck's true colors were. I made about $150,000. But I got my hand raised. It wasn't the factor that I'm afraid to fight the guy. I thought he was my friend.
Right.
And when we're the first Team Punishment. And this stuff's all going to be known as soon as ESPN comes out this 30 for 30 because they followed this last fight and they all the history.
Oh, that's great. That's
awesome. Coming out.
Well, then what would make Dana say? Why would he say that then?
Because he wants to have control of all the fighters.
So he just says whatever
he wants. And I have nothing against Dana. I love Dana. He's a hardworking, great father. I just can't see how he could keep that narrative that I was afraid to fight Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
I wanted to fight for the money that I thought I should have got a cut of it.
Right.
We're making like say the first fight was only 150 grand. I made shit for that fight. They made a bunch of money. The second fight, I made maybe 2% of the income from it, and they made the rest of it. And that's how it is now. They control fighters by doing that. And
what an interesting thing to do. So like you'll be like, hey, I'll give you $4 to fight, so and so, and you'd be like, that's bullshit money. I'm not fighting for $4. And then I just go to the news and I go, what a fraidy cat. He won't even fight so and so. You're like, no,
that's exactly what he did.
It was the money that I said no to, not the fight. There was no fear. What are you talking about? Fear? Yeah. That's almost insulting. They do that a little bit in pro sports contracts. As I'm learning, I'm like new to like even caring about how much the players make. But there was like a thing where they offered, they'll offer a player a really insulting amount of money, and then be like, we tried to make an offer, and you're like, yeah, but it was such a bullshit offer that they had to go play for the Orioles because you gave them like out of pride. They had to say, I can't take this.
And it's like I said, it's just the integrity.
Yeah, the integrity.
I'd rather keep my integrity more than anything. And I paid for it. I got a bad image or a bad picture painted upon my career, and it was insulting a bunch of times. But my true fans know the truth.
Yeah.
I know the truth. When I brush my teeth at night before I go to bed and I look in the mirror, I can say, you know what, pat myself on the back because I did the right thing for myself at the time.
I love that.
From episode 73, Kelsey Cook.
You're a foosball player.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family and I are professional foosball players.
Which is the weirdest thing in the world to me.
I know.
You have to pay to play, don't you? And then hope to win.
Yeah, it's like gambling in that way. You've got an entry fee, and then you hope you do well enough to get it back. But yeah.
And you're kind of buying a nice experience, right? It's like you get to go there.
Yeah.
You see all your foosball friends.
Yeah.
All your foosball enemies.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you play, and you hope that you don't have to face some certain person in a tournament or that they get bumped out early, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Always during the women's singles event, I always end up having to play my mom.
Oh,
I mean, for sure that failed. Doesn't matter how many people are in the bracket. We always get the draw where it's like her and I right out the gate, and it sucks either way because if I win, then I'm like, well, I just beat my mom.
Yeah, she's gone.
That's sad. But if I lose, and I'm like, fucking mom, god damn it, like it feels bad either way.
Well, how about this? I guess I just don't know. They don't make the girls play the girls. It's like boys play the girls also, right?
It depends on the...
It's a pretty even sport.
Yeah, it depends on the event. So there's lots of different ones. There's like mixed doubles where the team is a guy and a girl versus a guy and a girl. There's women's singles where it's just women, or there's like open singles, open doubles where it's guy or girl.
Yeah, this sport has nothing to do with size advantage or like, weight.
No, I mean... it's tough because there are some dudes who walk up to the table like so. I mean, I don't know if I want to say roided out, but they are strong. These are like beefcake. And
how could that help?
Well, if you watch it at a certain level of play, if you hit the ball really hard, it's harder to defend because it's going to go faster.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I had no idea. So there's still an advantage.
I mean, strength is an advantage in foosball. Yeah. Definitely. But yeah.
What kind of...
We got to get you roided out, Kelsey Cook.
There you go.
I think that's what I'm missing, just a neck like a tree trunk. Yeah. That'll get me the...
And they're like, whoa, Kels, what have you been doing? She's like, foosball.
Playing to win.
And then you'd have to explain it, just like you're explaining to me that like, no, strength goes a long ways.
It does, yeah.
From episode 74, Tim Dillon.
You take that ingredient out of humor, the surprise or the shock or and once that's done, then what are we fucking doing? Now you're giving a speech, giving a talk.
Exactly. And that's my biggest pet peeve with stand-up comedy and what it's become is that like they've not even looking for the joke anymore. They're not even looking for comedy anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's why Ellen isn't funny anymore.
I think stand-up's kind of dying. Like I think stand-up eventually, I think it's just the rigidity of stand-up. The joke structure is really great and it's impressive. But I think when you have a president who's just fucking freeballing, and I think he's just saying whatever he wants, and he's just going off the dome and he's riffing, I think what's more authentic to people right now is a podcast or a live stream or a video or something that just feels raw and authentic.
Yeah.
I think people want to get to know you. I think if your stand-up's a vehicle for people to get to know you, then great. But if it's just jokes, there'll always be that thing, like joke, like very rigid, tightly, But are you really going to connect with people on a deep level with only that? I don't know, man.
Right.
I mean, jazz was a huge thing too. People used to go out to see plays. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, shit ends.
I think Ellen has stopped being funny to me because she's become too good of a person. She's so sweet.
Ellen is actually a nightmare. In real life, she's a demon.
Really?
Yeah, everyone that works for her.
For example,
everyone that works for her, I know people that have worked for her. I mean, she makes them cry. She's an absolute.
Really?
I mean, she's a Satanist.
Okay, then forget that she's a good person. But like the last time I saw her do like an interview or something, she was like tearing and crying about how like
it's fake.
sad
being a sociopath.
The world is.
Yeah, it's sociopathy.
And I was like, well, this isn't funny. That's not what people liked about you. We liked that you were like.
It's also pretend.
Funny.
It's also not real.
Interesting.
It's also pretend because she's a sociopath. And what happens when people are have disassociated, and you make a lot of money doing that, but people know if it was real, your aversion to it is not because it's not funny.
Right.
It's because it's not real.
It's not sincere.
And whether you're even processing it that way or not, you have a guttural, instinctual reaction to knowing that she's actually full of shit.
Sure.
That's why you don't like it.
Interesting.
That's what it is.
Well, the stand-up
because
scene,
you don't need to be funny all the time if you're authentic.
Right, that makes
She's not
sense.
authentic.
That makes sense.
It's the reality.
Well, like Chappelle, like he just did this
He's
great
authentic
special
every fucking minute.
Right. And then they're like, oh, well, this is you don't even have to watch this special because he doubles down.
But it's, you know,
like,
who is it?
what are
3
you
writers in
talking
Brooklyn.
about? Yeah, exactly.
No one cares. Like, this is the thing. And National Review wrote some dumb art. No one cares about that.
That made me
shit.
immediately want to go watch it.
Yeah,
because I was like
fake wokeness.
exactly. I was like,
no one cares.
Yeah.
Nobody has any. He's authentic. People like him. That's really the test. We're heading into this weird time where you almost can't. You can lie, but like people sniff it out, man. People have a guttural, instinctual reaction to if you are full of shit or not.
Sure.
And that is, I think, becoming the thing. When you see people that are succeeding or connecting with people, a lot of it is because they're being who they fucking are.
Sure.
Unless they have a machine behind them. See, if you have the big Hollywood machine behind you, you don't even know who you are. You've never met, a lot of times, not always, but in certain cases, you've never even met yourself. You're like, I'm a liquid that takes the shape of the container. So I have 10 writers and agents and managers, producers, publicists, PR people, and everybody basically creates me every day.
Sure.
And then I just do that. And those people have the machines, but they don't have, they don't have that organic, like, oh, you got to hear this person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
From episode 75, Michael Longfellow.
Here's a funny story that happened with me and Chrissy Teigen. So I got to do a cooking show that Rob Dyrdek had on MTV. And it was like this wild cooking show. And like for one of the episodes, they brought me in to be like a guest judge. I don't know why. Everyone on the show is more famous than me. And somehow I'm the guest judge, which is weird. So I'm sitting next to Chrissy Teigen. She's also one of the judges. And we're just laughing. And we both had some drinks. Me, John Legend, and her were like in her green room, had some drinks. And I'm also like just kind of taken aback. Like, this is fun. I'm hanging out with John Legend and Chrissy Teigen and all their dogs and stuff. It's pretty cool. They're like treating me like I'm one of them. So we're having a good time. And the 3 people that are cooking are celebrities. And I won't name them so nobody could trace this back.
oh damn! I was like, oh, we could fuck, marry, kill those 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe on a different episode. But these 3 people were famous, and Rob Dyrdek got them because Rob Dyrdek gets famous people and knows famous people. So they're going to cook for us, and then we have to try the food and tell us what we think. And since they're celebrities, they don't get a big cash prize. What they get is like a $10,000 to whatever their charity is. One of the guys was like, he's like, oh, I wanted to go to the Marines because I was in the Marine Corps and I want that. Second one was like, oh, we're going to do cancer, whatever. And then third one was a girl, and her brother has autism, severe like autism, and so she's like, I want to give it to autism, awareness or like whatever the Autism Speaks, I think it's called, or whatever the charity is. And so I'm having such a good time, and I'm a little buzzed, and I'm making jokes, and I'm killing. I mean, like, I'm easily the funniest person in that room. I'm making the cameraman laugh. I'm making Chrissy Teigen laugh. And I get in this rhythm of just like, I'm just pop. I'm feeling good. And it makes your ego go up. Like, man, I'm like, they're going to give me my own show. Like, they're like, these people are going to hear this and go, whoever that guy was that we had, we got to get him his own thing. I'm just crushing it. And it also feels good to like make Chrissy Teigen giggle. And it's like fun. And John Legend's laughing at everything I'm saying. So I get a little too comfortable with my loose lip nonsense. The celebrity girl brings over her dish. She brings it over, and it tasted horrible. She's not a cook. She's a celebrity for being really attractive and charismatic. Because I'm killing. I'm Jeff. I'm funny. I'm killing. I go, oh, this tastes like your brother made it.
Oh my God.
No.
I knew it was coming too.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait.
The whole room went from, this is the funniest guy in the world, to like audible gasp.
Yeah.
Like, oh no. Like that, like it was
Someone
so,
threw up in the corner.
Yeah, it was so uncomfortable.
Isn't it crazy how fast that can change?
So quick.
To we love you to
I can't believe
you betrayed us.
You ruined this for me. Now I'll never get to meet Chrissy Teigen.
No, Chrissy,
You ruined
I
this.
think
She was the only one that laughed.
and I remember it well because she grabbed my arm like this, like that's what are you doing? Kind of thing. But it was just this great moment, and even she was still cool about it. I saw her like the next, like right after that, she was. I
love her even more now.
She's like, you're like trying to
she
defend
gets
it.
humor.
You're like, what? No, it's because he's autistic. He's like really autistic. He'd make the dinner bet. Probably.
That's what I should have. I should have doubled down,
Yeah,
and then also just been indignant. What? Did you not catch it that her brother has got a thing?
Oh, okay, no, they make food as good as everyone else. All right, I'm the weirdo.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're master chefs. Maybe that's what's happened. That's so funny. I wish I'd have thought of that. But again, I'm a coward, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'll do different jokes.
Let one fly a plane. Climb on that one. If I'm so crazy. If I'm so dumb.
From episode 76, Frank Caliendo.
It brings them into my world a little bit, like meeting John Gruden. And for just 2 minutes, just staring back and forth, man. No words whatsoever. This is going through our heads, but we're not saying anything, man. We're just in psychotic agreement. So that type of thing, people like to hear those stories.
Sure.
And the way legend has it, he was holding a coffee. He's looking at me, so you're the guy who does me, huh? I'm like, yeah. He's like, where are you from? I looked up where he was from, so I said that. I was like, Sandusky, Ohio. He's like, really? I'm like, no. It's like, good, because you were blowing my mind, man. Blew my mind out of existence, man. It's like Wile E. Coyote messing with the dynamite, man.
Well, he like wants to be your friend, and you guys are like friends now because of the impression, right? I mean,
I think so. I think part of it with some people is keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. I think that's a good way to do it with people. Like people in the last week have asked me to come out, and in the last couple of days, well, in the last week, have asked me to go. There was that revelation that Gruden had agreed to the Antonio Brown video that came out. So for everybody who's not a sports fan and follow or listening, Antonio Brown
is a crazy person.
Yeah, literally, I believe to be truly insane.
Yes.
But was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, was traded over to the Raiders, and then froze his feet off almost. Then didn't like his helmet till he got a Power Ranger helmet.
Yeah.
Thought he was forming Voltron. I know I'm crossing the line here, but there were still a couple of robotic type group creatures.
Yeah. Some racial slurs.
No.
There was some racial slurs.
He called Mike Mayock a cracker.
Whoa,
apparently.
hey, don't say the racial slurs, Tony.
I'm white. I can say it.
No, you can't. You went hard R.
That's our word.
I thought you almost went Norm Macdonald.
Wait a minute over
Tony,
there.
I just remembered your name because he said it there, you know.
We don't say crackers.
Yeah, we only talk about...
We don't say... And just name all the slurs. No, but there was that.
We call them Ritz Bits. You ever had a Ritz Bit? That's what this whole chunk of comedy is going to be here, you know? A Ritz Bit. Hey, it's almost as good as my Reese's Pieces.
Do my old corny Ritz Bits bit.
I'm going off on tangents. I'm sorry. Where were we?
Antonio Brown. You're telling the video audience about the psychopath that is Antonio Brown.
So then he came out with a video, and they said he sent the video. By the time this comes out, I don't know where it'll be, but they said he sent the video, or the videographer sent the video to John Gruden, and he texted back like, I love it, man. That's good stuff, man. But how many times do you get a video from somebody? You don't really watch it. You just go, good stuff.
Yeah, love it.
It was great.
Great.
Or you don't watch it with the
Great
sound
set.
on. Yeah. Unbelievable. And then they ask you details about it later, and you're like, it's been a while. It was earlier today. I know, but you know how many videos I get from Texans from earlier in the podcast?
From episode 77, Kristine McConnell.
I bought a girlfriend, a cat.
I thought you were going to end it. I bought a girl.
I bought a girl. She's in the basement. No, I bought a girlfriend a cat.
Okay.
I thought it'd be a great gift. She's always talking about how she wants a cat.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this will be nice. And I got her like a little kitten. Who wouldn't want a little kitten as
Everybody
a gift? Like,
wants a
what a
kitten.
great gift. I got a bad one. I got a real bad one. This thing, we thought I liked him because I was like, ooh, look, he's like a little Henri. Feisty.
No.
Yeah, a bad choice. And she named him Dexter after like that murder because that show was real popular at the time. It's like first season.
Awesome.
And since then, we've talked, and she's like, that cat is the worst. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, I mean, I love him, but like, I'll literally not see him for like a day, and then all of a sudden something will just break in the kitchen, and then I'll see him like dart off, and I'm like, Dexter. Like she just like she has like such a strange relationship with this cat.
That's why you have to have more than one.
I guess, but how would you tell, man? You can't tell.
I can tell like instantly when you meet them. Like as a kitten, I had like my best cats have always been ones
You haven't
that,
seemed crazy till right this second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, when she goes, I can tell.
In case you're wondering, I'm a full-blown like crazy cat lady. But no, you can kind of tell their personality like almost immediately when they're babies.
Right.
Not super babies.
What if I want my cat to be Republican though? Like, how do I find that?
That's going to be something you're going to have to check with your congressman.
I'll have to like ask and send letters. Fair enough.
I'm sure you can get a lot of pamphlets about
Just like
that.
I picture a
Help you out.
cat like flipping through Fox News.
I'm
or
lecturing the
something.
cat.
Yeah.
Cat's got like a gun. I'm like, that one. I want that one.
I'm not sure about that. I'm going to have to check with someone else. But no, I'm saying if you want like a nice one, I feel like you can tell if one's sweet really early. So, if one is too boisterous,
my dog had a rough start a like real rough start. And I think it's made him sweet.
I was going to say,
so it's horrible to want that, but also like it made him the most cuddly, kind of like needy at times. I want a dog to be needy. I want a cat to be needy. I like them. They're needy.
I have never met a bad dog ever. Like,
I haven't either, to be honest.
I can't recall ever having met a dog that I couldn't immediately like fall in love with.
Right.
But the love you get from them isn't quite the same as you get with like a really special cat.
You've earned it with a cat.
Exactly. Like I lost my little favorite baby like a month ago, and like he was like a really special, like he was like my little husband. Like he followed me everywhere. We had this like relationship.
Yeah. I get a little uncomfortable. So this is a weird topic.
Okay.
When the cat's like, he'll be like kneading my back, and he's really getting a purr going, and I'm like, this is, you know what I mean? I love it. I'm happy. This is great, but I'm hoping it's not sexual for him.
So I mentioned I have a mentally handicapped kitty.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's a little boy, and he definitely. I don't know what it's like, a very like Harvey Weinstein relationship. Like he gets on you. It's like he wasn't invited, and he just starts doing things. And at first,
that really
it
blurs
seems
the line of consent. These
totally,
cats and dogs
and
just
also,
waving their wieners around at you.
It's like I said, I
Because you want
love
to be
him.
like, that's not our relationship.
Exactly. You're just like, I'm a person. I'm a person.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah,
or
this
mom.
is not
It would
where
never
this
work.
is going. But he does attempt that often.
Kristine McConnell says, put your pets in the friend zone. That's true, though.
So I try to like set him down or push him off when he starts
getting a little too sexual.
Yeah, exactly. And you know it's happening. Like once he works into it, and then it's like
that's my point. Yeah, it's kind of like it's a weird thing.
It's a very weird thing.
I would get that sense, like, because like I like when they purr and they're on my lap or whatever. But when he starts like getting into it and he's like looking at me and I go, whoa, Simba, hey, whoa, God, tone it down, bud.
Dominating you.
I don't need this at all.
Friendship. Now, wasn't that fun? Remember, to relive all the episodes, go to youtube.com/JeffDiesFriendship Podcast. And you better like and subscribe, so help me. And if you want to watch the episodes as they go up each week, go to patreon.com/JeffDie and support these handsome devils. You will also get free comedy tickets, so you are losing money by not joining. Make sure to come back next week for a brand new episode of Jeff Die's Friendship Podcast. Well, hopefully. If those lazy assholes get back to work. See you soon, friends.